What weaknesses do you bring to the table, and how do you plan to overcome them while you're in office?
Ooh, I'm ready to hear this. Let me get some snacks out. Let's see what this is going to be about.
5 minutes later.
How can y'all still not see this? How are you guys doing? Welcome to the channel Modern Renaissance Man. I am Ty Smith. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day or your evening to view my content. Make sure that you are following me on all the platforms you see above and all the ones you see below. And also, clicking this thumbs up button right here is how my content can consistently be recommended to you. It helps pushes my content out in the YouTube algorithm. And also, make sure that you still are subscribed to the channel, hitting that bell notification so that you can get notified whenever I do post, okay? Appreciate you all. So, Kamala Harris ran to Communist News Network, CNN, and this was going to be a way that she would be able to possibly redeem herself. You know, yesterday we got on her because she skipped out. She took a little rest break. They was talking about Trump. She was talking about Trump in particular being exhausted and older and all this blah, 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 yada, yada, peanut butter. Then she took a day off yesterday. So I made a video, and YouTube got pissed off at me because it was heavily suppressed, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all can go watch it if you want to. That she took a day off, and Trump laid into her about taking this day off, right? So I know I'm repeating some things, but Kamala Harris has been terrible on these interviews, like with 60 Minutes, Fox News. She was horrible on the podcast on Call Her Daddy. Y'all, it just was bad, man. Oh, my God. You just think that it wouldn't be able to get worse. So you would think that she goes on to CNN and they brought her on stage to be asked questions by the audience. And since we know that a lot of these questions are pre-rehearsed, I'm pretty sure these were too. But then again, they may not have been because, ladies and gentlemen, some of you that are voting for Kamala Harris, can y'all try to explain for her how to answer a question? Watch this.
Madam Vice President, everybody as human beings, we're not perfect. We have our flaws. We make mistakes. We have our weaknesses. And the office of the presidency can sometimes bring those weaknesses out in ways that the incumbent may not expect. What weaknesses do you bring to the table, and how do you plan to overcome them while you're in office?
That's a great question, Joe. Well, I am certainly not perfect, so let's start there. And I think that perhaps a weakness, some would say, but I actually think it's a strength, is I really do value having a team of very smart people around me who bring to my decision-making process different perspectives. My team will tell you, I am constantly saying, let's kick the tire on that. Let's kick the tires on it. Because, listen, as I mentioned earlier, I started my career as a prosecutor. I was a courtroom prosecutor. I've tried everything from low-level offenses to homicides. And I learned at a very early stage of my career and adult life that my actions have a direct impact on real people in a very fundamental way. When I was Attorney General of California, I was Attorney General of what is the 5th largest economy in the world, and acutely aware that my words could move markets. So I take my role and responsibility as an elected leader very seriously, and I know the impact it has on so many people I may never meet. And that is why I engage and bring folks around. So I may not be quick to have the answer as soon as you ask it about a specific policy issue sometimes, because I'm going to want to research it. I'm going to want to study it. I'm kind of a nerd sometimes, I confess. And some might call that a weakness, especially if you're, in an interview or just kind of, being asked a certain question and you're expected to have the right answer right away. But that's how I work.
Did y'all get any of that? So the question that was asked was very simple. And notice what she said in there. Did you notice the word in there, ladies and gentlemen? I did. That's why when people talk, even when I'm debating people, I write stuff down, right? So she was asked this question, right? Now, you guys heard her answer. So why did she switch it around and said what she said, he asked her, what do she think is a mistake that she made, right? With her. She turned around and say, some would say it's a mistake. Did y'all catch that? No, we're not talking about what some will say. We want to know what you would say is a mistake. So the question wasn't about what do you think people would say is a mistake. The question was, what do you think is a mistake? But then it gets even better. Anderson is going to ask her, you know what? Oh, watch this. He's going to try to clean it up and polish it up for the young man, since the young man apparently, I'm being sarcastic, folks, apparently he didn't ask this question clear enough. So Anderson is going to give it to her in a more layman's way. Watch this.
Former president admit a mistake. A lot of politicians don't. Is there something you can point to in your life, political life, or in your life in the last 4 years that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes, and they range from, you know, if you've ever parented a child, you know you make lots of mistakes too. In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
I don't get it. I mean, she still didn't answer the question. And what does she mean? Some of you are parents, and you know, you're not a parent. No, you're not a parent. Those are that man. You don't have no children of your own. So what are you talking about? You can't relate. You can't sit there and say things out of your mouth like that as if you're trying to relate to people when you don't have children yourself to even have that to say. Now, parents make mistakes, but what particular mistakes are you talking about? What mistakes are you talking about, Kamala? You still did not finish that up by saying what was the mistake. Ladies and gentlemen, how can you not see and listen to this to see it's just a bunch of word salad bull crap garbage? It's pure garbage. She did not answer if she can't answer some questions from some basic American lame plain down in the dumps and normal people. I'm just telling you, I'm just trying to make this as plain as possible with the expressions that I'm saying and how I'm trying to say this. The most basic questions. If she cannot answer that with the most layman examples out there in the world, what makes you think, oh, she could take on world leaders? She prosecuted something. So this woman prosecuted people. She prosecuted people, but you can't answer a question. I guess prosecutions are not on the defense, so they're not, you know, if she would have been a defense attorney, maybe she would have been better, because that means she would have to actually be prepared to answer things in a way. Prosecutors always, you did this, did you, and that's what she's doing right now. Trump is a this, Trump is a that, he's a this, that's the prosecutor coming out in her. But now you've been asked a question, she's not used to being on defense, and this show is based on how she's answering. So some of y'all that are voting for Kamala, can y'all, in the comment section, try to explain to us ignorant folks, can you speak Kamalayan to us? Because I don't understand Kamalayan or Kamalingish, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it Kamalayan. I don't speak Kamalayan. So can y'all explain to us what she was actually saying in Kamalayan? Because I don't get it. Make sure you guys are doing what you see right there in that cloud right there, if you please. Make sure you're doing that right there, okay? I am Ty Smith. No, I'm not. If you want to see the next video that I'm doing, it will be up here. Things that I do as a variety on this channel will be right down there. I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.